know what? The Canadians have paid for the bridge. The bridge was built with organized labor, union labor on both sides of the bridge, including Michiganders. It is a really important part of our economy, the largest crossing in North America. And so it is important that it continues to move forward and open up on time, and that's my expectation.
Have you had any conversations with anyone, any leaders, Canadian, U.S., about this today?
Yes.
Can you give us some information about what those were?
I can just tell you that, I don't want to put too much onto those conversations until I speak directly with the president, but we are having a lot of conversations and those will continue. And I know right now the Speaker of the House happens to be in Washington, D.C., and I think he'll be raising this with the administration too, as I would expect my predecessor who negotiated the deal and understands the importance of it to Michigan and is also a prominent Republican, hoping that we can bring some information to D.C. so that they understand why this has to continue to move forward.
With this and Trump calling for nationalizing elections, is this someone that you think you can still work with?
You know what, my job is to try. I'm always going to try, but I also am going to fight to make sure people know that elections are secure in Michigan. We run the elections, that's what the states do. We've done it very well. We abide by the results of an election, and we will continue to run our elections.
Governor, during the state of the state was mentioned a lot today. I know obviously you mentioned that this was one of your promises from last year's State of the State. How do you feel in terms of promises made during that speech? How are we doing in terms of a track record and how do we feel about that?
Well, State of State is really laying out a vision, right? It's a report to the people and to the legislature about where we are and what we need to do. And so as we have written this State of the State, we've been able to look over 7 years of accomplishments. I'm really proud of what we've been able to get done. The governor lays out the vision and then ultimately determines that, it's all based on whether or not the legislation works together. And we've gotten a lot of great victories. I've got 11 months left, and I'm going to keep working my tail off because I got a lot more I want to get done.
Last question to WLS.
Governor, the final environmental impact statement was released for the Line 5 tunnel project on Friday. Environmental advocates are now saying that it's falling to your administration to block any future effort on that. Do you plan on taking any sort of action to stop this project from moving forward?
We are all digesting what came out in terms of that report. I think it's too early to say what next steps are.
All right, last question. Phones in schools.
Pretty much, so I'm just here for Tim Scoop, but what was it, how much work was it getting this bill to the finish line?
My team, both the members of the legislature, both on both sides of the aisle, recognized that this was a team effort. My team was very much a part of trying to resolve any differences, and I think that this is a policy that will make sense for school districts across the state, and most importantly, I think improve classroom instruction, which is all of our shared goal.
Thank you.